Okay. So, after the wretched Posadas bus situation, we had money, we had a bus ticket, we head out, and after a very long travel by bus and by ferry.
48 hours, was it?
It was probably about 48 hours of
just straight
traveling.
Yeah.
Then and a ferry ride from Buenos Aires to Montevideo.
Mm-hmm.
Where do we end up?
Punta del Diablo.
And what's that?
Devil's Point.
And what's that?
Beach.
That's a beach. And tell us about this beach town.
Oh, it's pretty great.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like a little laid-back beach town. I think in the summers it gets a little more touristy, but we kind of were hitting it right after off-season, so it was nice and laid back. There weren't a lot of people there. I got horribly burned on the back of my legs.
I got our legs burned. I stayed out in the sun for probably about 10 minutes, which is good.
And you still got burned.
And I still got burned. So after that, we took a bus out of there. So we check into our hostel in Buenos Aires.
Mm-hmm. Very cool hostel.
Yeah.
It's a part of town called Palermo, which is kind of the new and upcoming artsy district. And in fact, we're staying in a hostel called the Art Factory, which is really cool. It had huge, almost like graffiti murals on the wall that people had painted. Really nice place.
Yeah, really, I would recommend
the Art Factory.
The Art Factory. So, what did we do our first day in Buenos Aires?
Ooh, we did a lot.
We did a lot. It was a big day.
Big day. First, we woke up.
We woke up.
Went to the Recoleta Cemetery, which is basically where all the rich and famous and powerful people in Buenos Aires are buried. So, politicians, presidents, lots of presidents, generals, anyone rich and famous, celebrities, and the main attraction is the tomb of Evita Peron.
Of course.
So we went and saw Evita's tomb, which is a lot more subdued than you would think, but she's buried in her family tomb under the Duartes.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a tomb built for her. It was just her family's tomb.
And you can't see her or anything. I mean, they buried her underground because
way underground.
There was a lot of problems with that body, you know. So
her body was desecrated.
Yeah. So you gotta hide that stuff. We also that day went to the Malba.
Yes.
Which is the
Museo Arte de Buenos Aires, Latin America. It was Latin American art. Modern art.
Modern Latin American art.
Yes.
So who do we got? We got Frida up there.
We saw Frida Kahlo painting. We saw Diego Rivera painting.
Yep.
And we saw the very famous painting, the iconic image of Che Guevara.
Yeah. Great
Plus
place.
A lot of other just really excellent art. Yeah, it was fun.
Mary was having her birthday. So we had to go get a steak.
I was having my birthday.
And our cab driver, who when we first got to Buenos Aires, told us about a steak place.
Yes.
La Cabrera.
La Cabrera. What where are we eating?
We're in Buenos Aires at a restaurant called La Cabrera. And it was recommended to us by our cab driver. So far it's looking pretty expensive and tasty. It's
going to be really expensive.
It's going to be expensive. This will be the second steak I've eaten today.
Which apparently was on a list of 50 top places to eat in all of South America.
Right.
Yeah.
So we go there. It's a meat house.
Chips.
Yeah.
What do you got here?
I got a beef de chorizo. It's a steak.
Ooh.
Yeah. What do you got over there?
Some beef.
Yeah, Mary doesn't know what she ordered.
I was told what to order.
Yeah, it looks freaking amazing though.
So we got some sides over here, looking good. Pretty excited.
Real excited.
We'll check back in later.
Get out of here.
How you feeling?
Good.
Scale of 1 to 10 on the steak.
I feel like at 9.2.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a better steak?
I can't think of one. But that steak in the diner was great. But that was more of like I needed it, you know?
Yeah.
This is like, it's a luxury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the best steak I've ever had.
Yeah,
It was delicious.
it's freaking great. I'm gonna get another one tomorrow.
So that was it. So the next day, we leave. We go to the airport. We got to get there real early to get our flight.
Yeah,
'Cause we
super
don't-
early.
we don't wanna
woke
miss
up
our
at
flight.
4 a.m.
We woke up at 4 a.m. to get
4
our
a.m.
flight. Yeah.
after we had coughed all night.
Yeah.
No sleep.
Get a cab, get to the airport. We go to get our flight, and we check our bags. We go through.
Yep.
We're waiting for our flight.
Ready for it.
It says it's on time. Everything's
On time.
on schedule. Looks good.
Yeah.
And then the plane's not quite there yet, and it's almost boarding time. We're wondering, when's the plane going to get here?
Yeah.
So you go to inquire as to where the plane might be.
Hey, Mary. What's happening right now?
Well, Chips, we're sitting in the airport.
We're in the airport.
The flight was supposed to leave an hour ago,
Yeah, but why are we still here?
but we're still here.
What's that about?
Well, it appears that the airline workers are on strike.
Just the land workers were on strike, and they don't know when it's going to end.
Right.
So I was like, well, like tomorrow? Like, is this going to be delayed until tomorrow? Or like, what?
We don't know when it's going to end.
Yeah. Could
and
be
we
days.
don't know anything that's happening.
Could be days.
It could be days. Hopefully not. That's ridiculous. If it is days, I'm gonna throw a fit.
Last
They're
year-
gonna put
last-
me up in the Marriott.
I looked it up. Last year they struck for 48 hours.
Great. Hopefully this time it's 1 hour.
Yeah. 1 hour strike. Very effective.
That would be very effective for me.
Yeah.
In my life.
All right.
So, yeah, we're just sitting here.
Let's see how it goes.
I think things are gonna devolve into madness soon.
We had no idea how long we were going to have to wait.
Right. So we sit around for a while. Finally, they put us on the plane. Thank God. They put us on the plane. We traffic out. We get to the runway. We're heading out. We're about to leave
So
for
excited.
Ushuaia.
Ushuaia.
We're so excited. The plane sits there for a few minutes. We end up moving again. We're excited. And then I realize that we've just parked back where we started. They say now is when you get off the plane.
We were driven around the runway, then stopped back on the runway, given snack boxes, and we had to sit there on the plane for, another hour?
About an hour.
Just with the door open. And then they were like, all right, now you can get off the plane, and here's your ticket for a free sandwich.
Right.
Then they said, you know what, it turns out we might not be able to leave here.
Get off the plane.
Get off
again.
the plane. So we get off the plane, we go into the airport, we get some food, and then right before my burger's coming out, I'm about to eat this burger, I'm real excited about it, we look over and there's a flight boarding with our flight number. They'd thrown us on a different flight, another plane. So we gotta rush out of there. I grab my burger to go, throw some money at them. We get on out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So we got out of there.
and where do we end up?
Ushuaia.
Ushuaia.
Land of beautiful things.
The end of the world.
The end of the world.
Everything
Yeah,
south of Ushuaia is ice and sea.
that's right.
And Port Williams,
And
but
Port
we don't
Williams.
talk
We don't
about
count
that
it.
place.
We don't talk about Port Williams. But,
Yeah,
yeah, Ushuaia.
Ushuaia.
Ice
So
of, land of ice and sea.
land of ice and sea.
Furthest south in the world.
Yeah, and that was the second leg of our journey.
That we will talk about.
No.
Eventually.
No, we already talked about the second
Yeah. But the third leg, that's what we'll talk about eventually.
leg. We're sleep deprived.
It's the cough.
It's the cough. The cough's coming back. So we'll catch you after the third stretch. Don't know when that's gonna be. Ciao. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao, ciao.